A group of criminals is on its way to pull off a huge heist at a private high-security financial data facility. Inside the office, everything is normal so far. The car enters the garage, and one of the criminal members, Simon, controls the security systems remotely, making the view pause and let the car go through. At the office, they notice a glitch in the system. The alert goes off. Madame Yang gets in charge and is told the patrol units are on their way. It will take 5 minutes. Wu Yaolei, the head of the patrol unit, reports. They begin to track all the cameras within 3 kilometers of the bank. After catching them on a few cameras, Madame Yang studies their routes. They have targeted the criminal van, and the police are circling them in. However, as they stop, Wu claims there is no car, while Madame Yang clearly sees it. Wu gets out and waves at the camera, but it is hacked. Simon smiles and waves from his room. The next morning, the leader of the heist group, Fu Longsheng, enters the office, formally disguised. Wu and his partner get to Minister Zhao Wen's home. Apparently, his locker was stolen, where there was a paper with half of his passwords. The criminals are after 500 million worth of cryptocurrency from his account. The robbers are already in the bank, holding people hostage, and breaking into the vault. They are trying to open up the system. The cops ask Zhao if he can't just transfer the money somewhere, but he replies that the password for that is 12 English words, all randomly generated. Longsheng waits for the completion, which must be done in 2 minutes. Hu Feng, having the main charge of it, is nonchalantly doing his job. The process is ongoing, and he decides to see something else. Longsheng asks him not to touch anything else, but he is excited to see the information about a lot of rich clients. There is about 1.5 billion worth of cryptocurrency hidden in the server, and they decide to hack into it. Longsheng says they are out of time, but they don't listen. And just as the process ends, the police arrive there. They begin running. Longsheng, realizing there is no way, has to go out as a normal person. However, on his way, a stall owner accidentally catches him on her phone. He goes on. Wu is informed that Longsheng has just left. But at the correct moment, Longsheng orders his guys to create havoc, and they run their way. More cops come in. Among them, there is Ichio. Wu and his team catch up to the runners by the elevator, and a heavy fight breaks in. But the thieves beat them and hold Wu hostage. They enter the lift, and the door closes. Wu finally gets in the car and asks his driver, Win, to go. Win asks about the whereabouts of the other guys, but he holds him in a chokehold and orders him to obey. Inside the elevator, Wu picks a fight with the guys. He beats them up efficiently at first, but is eventually knocked out, being outnumbered. They reach the top floor and begin running while Wu, still conscious, unlocks himself and chases them. The guys have parachutes and they escape. Wu informs the others about it and decides to jump. With the help of a building worker, he manages to make a safe jump. The guys are about to land on a rooftop, but the members of the police are already there, and another fight begins. Simon does his job, making them vanish from each and every camera, and they all change their appearance. Simon further manages to make all the cameras go offline. Madame Yang asks them to turn their body comms on, and they do so. They begin facial recognition of everyone while Longsheng warns them not to get caught in the camera, no matter what. They keep on changing appearance and take regular actions to avoid the cops, who has remembered passing by one of them. Longsheng asks him to hide. They try to capture them, but there is a show going on. They take advantage of it and escape from there, escaping successfully. At the office, Zhao Wen is completely frustrated as all his crypto is gone. The police set up a meeting, and they are all humiliated. Madame Yang says that to catch a cunning fox, they need an experienced hunter. They remember their old Officer Wang, who happens to be the uncle of He Ka. She and Lu are given the task to track him down and take notice if he still has it. They get the first glimpse of him from his house as he gets out with a bunch of dogs. As Ika waits at a cafe, she sees Wang walking in. Soon, he heads up to her and straight up asks if she had been following him. But Ika responds that he might have mixed it up and asks him to leave. He is about to go, but returns and clearly states how many times she changed her appearance and at which locations she stood with her partner with clean efficiency. He even calls her by her name. She realizes he remembers her, despite last seeing her at the age of 8. She has been given her father's job with the same badge number after his demise. Wang is taken to the office, and first of all, he is shown all the footage they could capture. Wang asks them to play the last 15 seconds. After some long observations, he takes a pen and circles 4 of them. He says they peeked at the camera when they entered, so they had scouted before and knew where the cameras were. They look to see if the cameras were on, and once they were off, they change their disguise. Meanwhile, Simon and his twin brother Shiwang meet and say that Longsheng is pissed over the change of plans. Longsheng comes in and starts to beat them up. He says this was the first time he has ever been caught on camera. Simon holds his hand, but he is beyond angry and now threatens him with a knife. Everyone comes and stops him, apologizing. Shiwang hides a knife from his hand. The cops have begun to analyze the picked footage. After a long, considerable search, they get the one blurry shot of Longsheng. Longsheng tells Shiwang that he saved his life once, and he doesn't want anything to happen to him. He nods with gratitude. They have got another photo of Longsheng without disguise, but is more blurry. Seeing it, something clicks for Wang. He says that in the late 80s, there was a foreign ex-special force, known as the Shadow. He had later done countless heists and vanished from trace. There is a high chance it could be him. Wang says they will set up a covert team all over the town. However, the head officer tells him that in the time of AI, there is no covert team anymore, although he requests that he could make one. Wang says it is last minute, but they might try. Hika is at gym training when a group of boys tries to make fun of her, and she picks up a fight with them. The guy takes her casually for her size, but she fights excellently. Wang walks in and sees her with a smile. Later, Wang says she might be a good part of the covert team. However, Hika says her colleagues won't ever consider her efficient. Later, Wang remembers the time her father was shot in the mission and tells himself that he will take care of her. He gets into the office and says that he will train a covert team. A group is held before him. He sends off the ones he doesn't want and keeps the rest along with Hika. The training begins, and he takes Hika as his personal assistant. It is the first day of the mission, and everyone is set in their positions being disguised as normal individuals at every corner of the town. However, they falter occasionally, and Wang keeps on correcting them all. 12 days go by. Simon remembers their childhood with Longsheng, who would return from work with gifts. He would leave again and asked him to take care of his brothers. Meanwhile, Shiwang is shaving Longsheng, saying Simon is trying to break the code to fully access the 12 billion they stole. Longsheng asks if he ever thought of killing him, because then they can easily split the assets among themselves. Longsheng apparently knew that he had previously planned to kill him, despite him being his favorite son, but could not. Hika asks Wang why everyone else is on the field, and she is working as his assistant. He won't admit that he is afraid of losing her, and says that it is an order she stays there as his surveillance partner, which Hika angrily accepts. 15 days pass by. Hika is taking food while she notices a bunch of guys harassing a woman. Wang instantly asks her to come back and call the police. But she says that she is the police and encounters them. She figures she doesn't have her gun, and she starts to fight them. The woman runs, and she beats them, but is outnumbered when Wang comes in and saves her. They return to their car. Wang is furious and says she just blew her cover. Hika defends herself, but he responds that it is a completely unprofessional behavior. She then snaps and replies that they have been looking for weeks, and there is no sign. He says that it is nothing. Their longest mission ran for 8 months. But she reminds him that it was the very mission where her father died under his watch. Wang remembers, and he has no answer for that. They were looking for child traffickers, but the mission failed, and they could not capture the culprits. He says that it is still their job to stay rational and patient. The rest of the crew can all hear this and feel the emotions in his words. On the very night, they get a glimpse of Longsheng. Everyone is informed and begins to track him. He is at the market, and this time Wang puts Hiko on the job, giving her earpieces. Everyone is at the market, but they cannot go too close to make a clear facial recognition. 2 of them get too close, but manage to hide from him by beginning to kiss. Hika enters and says she will get nearer. She leans down by a counter pretending to find something when Longsheng gets near. He halts, seeing her, but quietly walks on when Hika manages to get a clear shot at his face from the reflection on the water. She confirms, but Wang instantly asks her to take her hand off her ears. She does so, and Longsheng looks back. He pauses for a second, but walks again. Someone moves the camera, but Wang once again orders to stop. It alerts Longsheng again, but he goes on and leaves. They now have the target confirmed. They need to keep on tracking him without getting too close, and all of them are on their job. Longsheng enters an apartment, but there is no camera inside, so someone has to follow him closely. Nobody is too close to get in, but Hika takes it in her hand. She enters the apartment, but Wang gets scared. She reaches the elevator. Longsheng suspects her to be the girl from market. Wang rushes out, taking a bag of apples. They enter the elevator as he stands behind, opening a knife. Just at the last moment, Wang stops the elevator. He cleverly takes off her earpiece and scolds her for not listening, pretending to be her dad. He asks Longsheng for his floor, but he replies that he forgot something and they should go on. He starts a friendly chat with him, and Longsheng engages in it as well. Suddenly, he brings out an apple and offers him, into which is a camera. It captures his face. Wang takes a bite and spits it. Hika scolds him for this behavior. Their floor comes, and they get out, begin to walk. Hika whispers what they should do. Wang asks her to keep going, as Longsheng is keeping a watch. He brings out a couple of pointers from his glass and stops by a room, asking her to grab the package. He breaks the lock and gets in. Longsheng leaves. Hika enters to see that Wang is holding the room owner hostage. He says it is police business, and the woman immediately asks for money. Longsheng returns to the lift, and the camera captures his floor number. They eventually get his room number as well. First, they collect the trash in his room and start to check it. They monitor him from his window. They find torn-up papers of Sudoku, but one of them says that all of these are wrong and impossible to solve. They also notice that he is popping bubble wraps. Longsheng opens a bag full of cash and passports. In the police meeting, the head says that Longsheng would always disappear after a job, but this time he has not done so. Wang says that whatever he is trying to play, they will play with it. The next day at the market, Longsheng meets with Wang and checks for any radios. They casually chat about fruits. He asks about his daughter, and Wang replies that her mother died a long time ago. He buys fish and offers to have lunch together. Longsheng enters their room on time. Together they cook and sit to eat. Hika is on the phone, and Wang scolds him to put away. He walks to the bathroom, and she taps her phone with Longsheng's, which enables a data transfer in the main office. Longsheng asks about his personal life, and she goes on with their studied story. He then asks her about a scar on her head. She says it is when she was in school that she got it. However, she has not told anybody, not even her father. Wang returns, and Longsheng brings in the topic. Wang casually replies to how it happened and speaks the exact thing. Hika looks at him and says that she has never said it to anybody. But Wang responds that he has always been nearby. Back in his room, Longsheng connects with Simon, but the cops are unable to trace the call. Later, when Wang is in his room alone, Wang comes to his door with a gun. He protects himself instantly, but a fight begins. Simon has hacked into their camera, and the cops are unable to see the situation. All they are seeing is Hika standing by the window, smiling. Wang holds Wang in a chokehold. Lu notices something is off with the camera, and just then Hika walks in. They realize it instantly and call for force. Wang gets the information that cops are coming. He pulls the gun under his feet, and Wang has to rush back and hide as he fires rapidly. The cops come in, but Wang runs in time. Wang asks if Longsheng has moved, but the answer is negative. Back at a meeting, they figure out the execution was planned by the kids themselves to create havoc and get Longsheng out of there. It's the 72nd day of the mission. Longsheng is out when the cops get into his house, and another team follows him on the road. They see that Longsheng's car is reaching towards their headquarters. Wang suddenly begins to assume something, remembering the Sudoku and the bubble popping. It was merely Morse code to call for backups. But it's too late, and a truck crashes into their car. They break into the headquarters. They are still okay, but it smashes at them again. From the truck come out a bunch of gunmen, and they shoot down the officers there. Hika wakes up and sees Wang unconscious. She prepares her gun and shoots them down. She pulls them out and keeps on shooting them. Just then, Wang wakes up and gets into action. More soldiers start to attack the headquarters. Meanwhile, Longsheng pulls up at an abandoned orphanage, along with Wang. He is still being watched. Longsheng enters. They use thermal imaging to see inside. They notice something shocking, but before the communication is made, everything is turned off. Longsheng enters the orphanage. Right at the balcony, he sees a camera and a bunch of guys heading in from both sides. He stands quietly, being well aware that his sons had set him up. One of them charges at him, but he finishes him off. They all rush, but he ends them one by one swiftly. A massive war begins in the headquarters as well. Hika begins a hand-to-hand combat with a soldier. This time, Wu arrives at the headquarters with a backup, and they make the culprits fall back. Hika finishes off her enemy, and so does Wang. Injured Longsheng comes out after ending all the men. He points the knife at the camera. Shi Wang calls him from behind and says this was his idea. Simon screams at his brother, saying it was not part of the plan. However, Shi Wang brings out the knives and prepares to finish him. Despite being injured, Longsheng is too strong against him. The knife battle goes on, and Longsheng injures Shi Wang. He cannot match the strength of his godfather and leaps from the upper story along with him. The police team has arrived at the orphanage. Longsheng is choking Shi Wang to death, but he pulls a knife from his body and stabs him. He tries his best, but Longsheng holds him weak and pushes the final stab. Driven by anguish, Simon presses the key that sets off the bomb inside. Longsheng notices the bomb a little before and pushes himself into the podium. The explosion makes the cops fly back. After everything, the bodies are being taken, and they reach the vault to see that it is already broken into. Madame Yang remembers that a SWAT team was just there, and she mistakenly let them pass. The brothers are now inside the stolen SWAT van returning, but they are all devastated. Simon realizes that Longsheng knew the true identity of Wang, and he called all along. He just played along to make them go away. They, however, do not want to believe their godfather was so noble after trying to kill him. Longsheng comes out of the ruins. The police go in and arrest him. As the boys pull up in a garage, the police have already reached there. Another chase begins. Wang catches up to Simon, and they begin fighting. The rest of the brothers attack him. Simon gets out in the meantime. Longsheng gets his phone call from Simon. They locate his call in the meantime. Longsheng begins to cry and says he knows they have been disappointed in him. He wishes he could give them a better life. He then says he is going to help them for the last time and begins to fight the police inside. He beats them all off. Hika tries to look for Simon. Lu takes charge, and once he unknowingly gets closer, someone stabs him. Then, as Simon is about to leave a railway gate, Longsheng comes in and stabs him. He hugs him tightly as he slowly falls dead. The rest of the brothers are finally captured. Meanwhile, Lu is heavily injured. Hika rushes for his aid, but cannot help him. Days later, the headquarters is being fixed. They are still trying to find the location of Longsheng. Hika points out that the arrested boys claimed only 2 people knew the password, one of whom was dead. The money has not moved at all. Wang says that Longsheng is an old time like him. He doesn't understand crypto, so he will try to cash them out. They park by Minister Zhao Wen's house. In the morning, when Wang is out to get food, Zhao gets out of his house in his car. She follows him by herself. He is cashing out of a hotel room where she barges in. She knows Longsheng set up a meeting with him and gets the location. They all head to the restaurant. Longsheng is sitting. Hika enters and sits, and soon Longsheng comes before her. He removes his disguise, and she once again pretends to be his neighbor. He plays along, but not before long. He comes clean and asks where others are. She asks him to go away, when suddenly, she notices Wang has come in. Before he gets off, he makes her unconscious. Wang walks in, and Longsheng is unable to get out because the exit is already blocked by Wang. He soon attacks him with a knife. A fight breaks in between them. They are both nearly equal in power and break off the whole shop. Longsheng manages to stab him in the shoulder, but Wang pushes him off. The battle continues, and in between the havoc, Wang falls weak, being heavily injured. Just then, Hika wakes up. She hears sounds upstairs, and both of them break in from the terrace. Longsheng is about to give his final blow, but is struck by Hika from behind. She then tries her best to save herself. Wang gets up and saves her. Longsheng hurts his injury further and pushes the knife up his throat, but he snaps it off. Longsheng runs away. Hika rushes in, but Wang says that it is not that deep, and she runs after him. He is now tracked in the headquarters, and all of the cops around slowly circle him in, and this time he is surrounded. Wang comes in as well. Hika proceeds to arrest him, but even in the last moment, he tries to attack her. Although this time, it's not possible, she manages to push him down to finally arrest him. The whole squad cheers up. Days later, Hika and Wang chat about more hackers that they could tail from Simon's server. They hope to get them together as well. You were watching the recap of the 2025 movie The Shadow's Edge. Stay subscribed to the channel if you have enjoyed the video. Till next upload, you may enjoy this.